Hello and welcome to the Great Big Indian Wellness Show. My name's Tony Patty, wishing you a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us here today in this very special session and panel discussion today. It's all about recharging your energy. Now, it's not just electronics that need batteries or electric cars that need charging. What about us as human beings? We all carry on until something goes wrong or until something happens, but it's too late then. Simple techniques to ensure your energy levels are high, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So we're joined today by two very, very astute specialists and specialists in their own field, as a matter of fact. And we have with us Sharon Kaur, who's the founder of Sharon Samy Coaching. And we also have with us Neela Mistry, who is a Reiki master and teacher as well. And Neela runs an organization called Healing Hands. Let me tell you something about Sharon first of all. Now, Sharon Kaur is an inspirer, motivator, and serial manifester. As an empowering life coach and intuitive healer, Sharon empowers her clients, influencing major breakthroughs against life's challenges. In addition, Sharon helps clients to reach their true potential in all areas of life. Now, Neela Mistry, who is a Reiki master, Neela is a qualified holistic therapist, member of the Federation of Holistic Therapy, and fully insured over 14 years of experience. She was experienced as a volunteer therapist at East Cheshire Hospice and also Macmillan Centre in Macclesfield, and also volunteered at Age UK as an administrator to help dementia patients to do their chair exercises and also slow breathing to help them to a better and more comfortable lifestyle. So a very warm welcome to you both. Welcome Sharon Kaur and welcome Neela Mistry. Welcome to the Great Big Indian Wellness Show.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So let's start with you then, Sharon, if I may. Starting with you about people not feeling that well, thinking about themselves, putting themselves number one at the top. Is it sometimes too late? Because when we talk about recharging your energy, what today's session is all about, how do people go about manipulating that and putting that into practice from your experience?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for having me. So the pandemic has really brought about, I guess, a change of life, a change of perspective and outlook. And especially we've gone through a number of lockdowns now and people have spent a lot of time at home. And the focus, I guess, now has shifted in terms of like towards the family unit, their partner, their children. But it's also changed as well, the key working dynamics, working from home. And even, sometimes the perspective is, oh, it's quite easy. But actually, when you've got the flexibility and the freedom to work from home, sometimes what a lot of people do is they overwork themselves. And what I've now found is that because we've gone through this like refocus where the world has pretty much gone through this evolution and us as individuals, we've gone through our own individual evolutions as well. So what I'm finding in particular with my coaching and healing clients is basically that rebalance. And what I like to basically say is, first of all, is like you can first of all be living life on default. And when I say default, I mean, you're waking up each day, you're going through the same, mediocre things that you do, whether it's, you go to work, you work in the long hours. And sometimes what people have found is they're getting quite stressed, overwhelmed, overworked, overtired. And this is where it comes in terms of like recharging that battery, because the mentality has always been like, helping others. And that's great. But first of all, initially, it comes down to yourself, filling your own cup up first, and then you'll recharge, your battery is there, and then you can go out to the world and you can help others. And that's really what I help empower like my clients to do on the coaching and healing side. And I
Thank
found
you, Sharon.
that's
good. We need to move on in the interest of timing. So yeah. I understand.
Okay.
I understand what you're doing with your clients, and thank you for that wonderful introduction and background that you've given us. Neela, as a Reiki master and healer, and the therapeutic side of things are concerned, Sharon said to us about healing yourself, understanding the fact that we're living in a very fast lifestyle. But from a Reiki perspective, tell us a little bit about what that's all about. And what is Reiki healing? Can it help with recharging our lives, which is what today's session is all about?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me on the program. Reiki is a universal energy And we as masters or trainers are trained to attract that universal energy and pass it on to the receiver. The receiver could be anybody, could be any age. And during these difficult times, everybody needs it, from an adult to somebody old. And the energy is channeled from the universe and is passed through us to the person having the treatment. And definitely they will have lots of energy, physically, and they can just enjoy the treatment, even though if they don't have any illnesses, have me time. Nowadays, they use the word me time.
Yes. Yes.
So anybody can, it's not a religion. Anybody can have Reiki.
That's really interesting, because Sharon was talking about looking after number one and taking care of yourselves. From one perspective, the coaching that Sharon does, she gave us a fantastic introduction to it about fast-moving lifestyles. So where Reiki is concerned, how can we go about slowing down our lifestyles, recharging our very own batteries, looking after number one, and first of all, understanding the fact that we need help and that we need to slow down? What are the symptoms?
Is it me? Sorry. Yeah. People have to slow down, because at the moment, lots of people are very stressed. By releasing the tension, having time to yourself, and a bit of mindful comes in as well. So to give yourself, charge your batteries first before you send Reiki and any healing energy to anybody. So the best thing is to relax, enjoy the treatment, and go with the flow rather than worrying what's going to happen next. What am I going to do? Empty your mind first and have the desire to have the Reiki.
Well, that's certainly the first step, and a very good introduction to Reiki. And perhaps if we have time in the program today, we'll go into more detail about that. Sharon, as an inspirer, motivator, and serial manifester, people need to recognize the fact that they need help in the first place. You must have noticed this from the many years of empowered initiatives that you've deployed to help people. How do you go about motivating, inspiring people, and making them understand, well, hang on, you know what? You've got a problem here. If you don't deal with it, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, touching upon what Neela said as well in terms of the symptoms, I mean, sometimes, you look at emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and particularly in today's society when, we are looking to recharge our own batteries. And it's a case of people being overworked, overwhelmed. And then the knock-on effect to that is basically they have these, illnesses or even conditions, or when the body is at dis-ease. So what happens typically is then people come to that realization that actually my life is not going the way that I want my life to go. And it comes down to your feelings in your emotional center. Am I feeling good today? Am I feeling sad? What am I feeling in this moment? And then, we talk about mental health as well, the awareness, and it's always been there. And it's like looking at, am I feeling depressed? Have I got anxiety?
But how do you know
going on?
Forgive me, but how do you know that you're suffering from these symptoms that you've mentioned?
Yeah, it's basically looking internally. Okay, we've got our own GPS, as I like to call it, which is our emotional system, our feelings, our emotions, which link into our thoughts and our beliefs. And it's actually, you wake up in the morning and looking internally, how do I feel today? Am I actually dreading the day going forward, going into work? Is it not really what my life is all about? Am I getting excited? Am I happy? And it's looking at that internal GPS, as I like to call it with my clients, and going into the feelings. And to answer your question, Tony, it is about then people, if they're not actually living towards their true life purpose, and they've got that inclination deep within that actually, I'm not happy, I don't want my life to go this way that I'm leading at the moment. And also the key crux to it is with a lot of my healing clients is they come across their illnesses or their disease, which can range from anything from like, you know, IBS, arthritis, even autoimmune conditions, when, you know, they may have been overworked in their working environment. So it comes to a point where, you know, I really need help. And that's when, you know that they're in that position that things have got to change.
Neela, Sharon explained to us that people recognize the symptoms and they need to deal with them, and recognizing them in the first place is half the battle won, we believe. But what about the actual treatment itself? Who can actually be given this treatment? Do people vary or differ in shapes and sizes, moods, color, creed, caste, religion, whatever it may be? Who can actually be given Reiki treatment to make them feel better?
The Reiki treatment can be given to people who have depression, anxiety, sleeping problems.
As Sharon mentioned, yes, that's right, yes.
Yeah, it helps you to cope with stress. And when you get up in the morning, sometimes you feel, oh God, do I have to get up now? Do I have to go? And sometimes by simply doing gentle breathing exercises, even before you get out of the bed, a nice big stretch, and just getting into the mood, and just saying little chanting on water, and you step out. And that can also recharge a little bit of your battery before you get out of the bed. And by having Reiki treatments, the area or the therapist who is going to give you a treatment, she will make sure that you are comfortable and make sure that, you know, no matter what, don't try hard. All you just got to do, lie and receive the treatment.
Okay, I understand that. I understand receiving treatment. I understand the methodology behind it, which you've explained extremely well, Neela. Who can be given the treatment? Young, old, middle-aged? Who can be given the treatment? Males, females, who?
Yeah. Any gender can have treatments, male, female, even animals can have that treatment. You'll be surprised to hear we get people, oh, my animal has got this, or my, you know, pet has suffering from this. And you can heal them as well by placing, you know, we'll talk about the treatment in a minute. Pregnant women, when they are birthing, you can give the treatment. You can give treatments to older people when they have got aches, pains, chronic pain, anxiety. When there's palpitation, by lying them down, you are slowing down their breathing.
Yep.
And, you know, it's just so many people from any age can benefit the treatment. Now we live in a very stressful environment. Give yourself, Reiki session doesn't have to be 40, 50 minutes. There are some quick Reikis we can do. And then there are also distance healing we can do as well. And it's to suit the person. When we tailor, it is meant to tell the person with what they want to achieve from having the Reiki. It could be anxiety. It could be they want to be calm, relaxed. They want to improve on the stress levels. So,
yes. But understandable.
And, you know, as I said, depression is anxiety is quite a big one people suffer from. They have palpitation.
Yes, I mean, we heard that before, but the great thing about it is that one thing that's coming out of our discussion today is that people are recognizing that in the stressful lifestyles that we lead, there is help available to them through the methods that you've both mentioned. Sharon, recharging can also mean that you spend time reconnecting with what you want in your life, and you went into some great detail about that earlier on. Thank you for that. But it doesn't have to always be something unrelated, such as watching a movie or taking a vacation, if you like. Recharging can also come in the form of reconnecting with your deeper self-meaning. Do you have an explanation for that?
Well, yeah, deeper self-meaning is basically connecting to your essence, your soul. You know, what is it that you really desire in your life? And just touching on what Neela said as well, because I'm actually a Reiki healer master teacher in Usui traditional Reiki as well as angelic Reiki. And what I see a lot is, particularly on a weekly basis, because I send Distant Healing out every Sunday, which is a free service that I send out to basically the world, to people that want it. And what it actually helps as well, touching upon what Neela said, is it's basically using the energy, which is the universal life force energy, and sending out that healing, but it's also there to recharge people's energy centers. So we've all got our energy centers called chakras, which some of you may have heard of if you're listening out there, which our main chakra centers are 7, which start from the crown all the way to the root. And what I do in my healing sessions with this free Reiki service on a Sunday that I send out is basically energizing and re-stimulating and rebalancing people's chakra centers. And that's really the answer to the question there, because it sends them back into their soul sense and their essence, in terms of, balancing all of their energy centers, revitalizing that energy to then feel better emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And the results thereafter are absolutely incredible and amazing. So that's why I really love doing this energetic and coaching work.
That's fantastic. Neela, when somebody is letting go of negativity in their lives, they need help, and they need help to recharge. And so you have to sometimes step away from the influence of negative people even. And instead you need to surround yourself with positive people who will actually lift you up and recharge your life. Sometimes it's not that easy to do. And through Reiki healing, how could you go about finding different ways of recharging your life, which is what we're talking about today on the Great Big Indian Wellness Show?
There are so many things you can recharge your batteries, as they say these days, or your soul. There's some simple steps. You can do it yourself. You do by walking in the garden, by walking barefoot. When you are barefoot on the grass, you are connecting to the Mother Earth and the universal energy, which is beautiful energy, which is coming from the universe, and going through your crown and every part of your body. And then it just gets recycled, playing a lovely music. Do something you enjoy and have a time to yourself where you're trying to empty your mind. If negative thoughts, positive thoughts are part of our life, think as a blue sky and the clouds are passing by, and let them just go, and just feel yourself feeling energized and getting rid of the energy. We have to be positive, and positivity will you'll get less negative thoughts in your life. So you have to do things that you really enjoy, even though you sing at the top of your voice when you're in the bathroom or in the house.
I love that. I love that. That was great. It's all about being mindful, and it's all about a mindset situation. But Sharon, what about cleansing your body by a detox? And we of course love to deeply clean out our bodies in various ways and forms by flushing out the system once in a while. What would your advice be on that?
Totally. I love that. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. And I feel as well, it comes down to, which for me 15 years ago was totally life-changing. And it's the art of gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude. And it's simply this technique, Tony. It's literally saying each and every day in the morning, or even when you're going to sleep, I am so happy and grateful today because, and then just mentioning 5 things. And it could be something as simple as the sunlight beaming through my curtains, my beautiful family, my eyesight, my legs because I can walk, the water because we've got clean water to drink, clean water to bathe in, and it could be the simplest things. But what gratitude does, it lifts your vibration upwards. And not only is it positive, but you're giving that thanks and that appreciation. And then what happens then in terms of your mind, your body, your soul, and spirit is, because you've increased your vibration in that art of appreciation and the gratitude, is you're resonating at a higher energetic level, which means you will then start to attract the people, the circumstances, situations, and events that are in direct resonance with your energy. So that replenishes the soul. That's just one technique. There's lots of others, but that is a life-changing technique for me.
No, I love that. And I love that because it's all about being thankful. And when you're grateful for what you have, then I suppose you can manifest more greatness out of this by simply being thankful. And it's all about manifestation. I completely get that. And that's a great learning curve here today on the Great Big Indian Wellness Show. Neela, when it comes to Reiki and Reiki treatment and the performance of it, how do you go about performing Reiki? Could you tell us in about a minute and a half or so how you'd go about doing it?
I can definitely do that.
Thank you.
Reiki is performed in a nice, quiet surrounding. It could be performed in a garden as well, where you can have nature, sitting on a comfortable chair or lying on a couch. So when I have my patients or clients, they are made to lie comfortably on the bed and just make them comfortable and just explain a little bit that I'll be placing my hands. And sometimes people do not like them touching them. So we have to respect them and we have to make sure that they are happy to receive. We have to have their consent. And once that's done, they lie down. Sometimes people want a quiet treatment. Sometimes they want a little bit of the music in the background. So we give that treatment to them according to their wishes. So they lie down and we start our treatment by gently placing our hands or hovering our hands over the patients. And it could be on the chakras or it could be on any parts of the body. And sometimes we concentrate if they say, oh, I had a bit of a fall, or if I had a pain here, or I've got headache. So we'll concentrate a little bit of passing the energy through our hands. And we place the hand so that they are reassured that they're comfortable and they're safe in our environment. So when they feel safe, they let go of themselves and start enjoying. And during the treatment, they may feel a little bit warm, cold, and they'll say, oh, I had a bit of a tingly feeling. And then we'll refer, after the treatment, we'll say, where was that tingly feeling? And then they'll come up with, oh, something had happened. So by placing our hands gently and reassuring them, they are safe and nothing is going to harm them. And that's how we finish the treatment, starting from the crown chakra, going through the chakras, arms, feet, and then we bring them back into a beautiful, peaceful white light. I work with colors as well when I'm doing therapy. And just release the tension, make them happy, make them relaxed. And it's just the energy is transmitted from the universe through to us with our hands, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Neil. Thank you for explaining that, and quite inspirational. Right here on the Great Big Indian Wellness Show, we are joined by Sharon Kaur, who is the founder of Sharon Semi Coaching, and also Neela Mistry, who is a Reiki master as well.